Hello guys, this is our second lecture in the series of having discussion of previous year's questions of UPSC CSE Polity, and we are doing this for our prelims 2021. So let's read the question first. The question is like this. Statement 1. The motion to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court of India cannot be rejected by the Speaker of Lok Sabha as per the Judges Inquiry Act 1968. Okay. Statement 2 is like this. The Constitution of India defines and gives details of what constitutes incapacity and proved misbehavior of the judges of Supreme Court of India. Statement 3. The details of the process of impeachment of the judges of Supreme Court of India are given in Judges Inquiry Act 1968. Statement 4. If the motion for the impeachment of a judge is taken up for voting, the law requires the motion to be backed by each house of the parliament and supported by a majority of total membership of that house and by not less than 2/3 of total members of that house present and voting. And we have to find here the correct statement. So we are done with all the four statements. Let's try to analyze that what kind of information what we should have to solve this question. Statement 1 is saying that the Speaker of Lok Sabha can't reject the motion for impeachment of Judge of Supreme Court as per the Judges Inquiry Act. Okay. Statement 2 is saying that Constitution of India have given in detailed that what it means incapacity and proved misbehavior. It means is this particular word incapacity or proved misbehavior is defined by the Constitution or not. Okay. The statement 3 is saying that all the procedure which is done during the impeachment is given in the Judges Inquiry Act 1968. Okay. And the statement 4 is saying that when there is impeachment of a judge of a Supreme Court, then it should be backed by the total membership of that house and not less than 2/3 of that member of house. Okay. So basically this all four statements belong to a question that how a judge is eliminated or how a judge is impeached. We may say the correct terminology will be that how the judges of the Supreme Court are impeached, and we should know this process in detail. So we will go into detailed discussion. Let's start. There is no specifically any provision in the Constitution that deals with the impeachment of the CJI. Okay. There is no specific any provision. For specifically for what? For the impeachment of Chief Justice of India. Proved misbehavior or incapacity is mentioned in the Article 124 subsection 4. Okay. So this proved misbehavior is mentioned, but it is not defined. It is only mentioned in the Article 124 section 4 of the Constitution. It is ground for the impeachment of a Supreme Court judge. Okay. And this proved misbehavior and incapacity which is mentioned in a given article, it is the ground for the impeachment of a Supreme Court judge. And CJI is only the first among the equals. It means the Chief Justice of India is no different from other judges of Supreme Court. He is the first among the equals. The same procedure will be applied when there will be the impeachment of the Chief Justice of India. Hence, CJI too, like other judges of Supreme Court and High Court, can be impeached on this ground. Okay. So, from this piece of information, we get to know that nothing specific for CJI, proved misbehavior incapacity mentioned in the Article 124. But the main thing is that it is not defined anywhere. We will get further it. Yes. The Judges Inquiry Act 1968 contain the details of the process. Okay, so this is the Judges Inquiry Act 1968. The motion is to be signed by 50 members of Rajya Sabha or 100 members of the Lok Sabha. Okay, if there has to be an impeachment of a judge of a Supreme Court, then what can be the way of this? Either the 50 members of the Rajya Sabha or the 100 members of the Lok Sabha, they will sign the motion. This is the first step. And if this motion is admitted, this motion, if it is admitted, then there will be an inquiry committee, and it will probe, it will investigate the charges, that which charges are applied. It will consist of the Supreme Court judge, okay, CJI of the Chief Justice of an High Court, and a distinguished jurist. Okay, so remember three eminent person like Supreme Court judge, Chief Justice of an High Court, and distinguished jurist will be there. If charge is proven, then motion to be presented to each house. Okay, charges are proven, then it will be to the each house of the parliament. It has to be passed by the majority of the house. Okay, these charges which are applied, if they are proven, then there will be the impeachment. It will be presented to the each house of parliament, and it has to be passed by the each house by the majority, and 2/3 of those members who are present and voting in the same session, they have to give in their votes. If the charges are proved, parliament is not bound to remove the judge. Okay, the main thing is that if charges are proved in the parliament, on the floor of the parliament, then yes, they are proved, but parliament don't have the power that it will impeach the judge. No, finally president will issue the order removing the judge. So this is the whole process which is given in itself in Judges Inquiry Act 1968. That's all. Next, judge right. The particular judge has the right to be heard. Okay, the particular judge will be given the opportunity that he can be the present, he can be there when impeachment motion is there, passing there, and he has the right, he can defend himself. However, this is not available at the time of the admission of the motion. Okay, when there will be the admission of the motion, then it will not be there, but during the inquiry he has the right, during the inquiry he has the right to defend himself. Impeachment process is neither entirely political nor entirely judicial. So this is a challenge basically, and we can say this is a challenge upon the independence of judiciary also, because it involves a political process when we go for the impeachment. So it is a fine and judicious blend of the two. Admission of the impeachment motion, constitution of inquiry committee and its finding are in the nature of judicial process. Okay, when there is an impeachment motion presented, then admission of that motion, then the inquiry committee, because we know in inquiry committee all the three people belong to the judicial character. Okay, and then the findings are in the judicial nature. But when we adopt the motion in the parliament and when we do voting, so basically it is along the party lines. It is mainly a political process, that which party will give vote to or will not give vote to. It depends. It's purely a political we say stand. The complexity of the impeachment process has ensured that no judge has been removed so far. So we can criticize it because the impeachment of a judge is so difficult. It is so cumbersome process. It is a mix-up of a judicial plus a political process, that no judge have been impeached so far. The next is, yes, the presiding officer may admit or refuse to admit the motion. The Speaker of Lok Sabha, the presiding officer, he has the authority that if he want, he may admit and he may also refuse to admit the motion. But the presiding officer should not ideally take over the role of the inquiry committee. So this is something which is supposed to be, that he should not ideally take over the inquiry, the role over the inquiry committee. I think he should admit it. He should admit it, and inquiry committee should try to find out, investigate that what that particular judge has done. But the presiding officer has the authority that he may also refuse. The presiding officer is not supposed to mechanically admit any motion. It means that the requisite number of members having signed the motion is not only the criteria. Okay, we have done that, we have read that the 50 members of the Rajya Sabha or the 100 members of the Lok Sabha, if they sign a motion and they present it to the speaker, the presiding officer of the house or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, So just signing the motion is not complete in itself. Even the presiding officer, they have to accept that motion. Without accepting the motion, the purpose will not be solved. Proved misbehavior ground for the removal of a judge, but it is the job of the inquiry committee to give a finding on whether charges are proved. But again, charges could sometime be prima facie totally without substance. In that case, the presiding officer has the right to block the motion at this initial stage itself. Okay. It's mean that the speaker of the Lok Sabha or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha as a presiding officer given the power that in the initially when this process of impeachment started, if he thinks so that there are not enough substance, that the judge has not done anything significantly, we cannot prove that there is no material in itself in this particular case, then he can block the inquiry initially. So he has given such authority and power. What all constitute proved misbehavior? Yet it is not defined in our constitution in anywhere that what is proved misbehavior or incapacity. But if we go for a means and if we need to write something, then we should have some concrete within ourselves that what is supposed to be proved misbehavior. So the constitution doesn't define incapacity or proved misbehavior. The misconduct of a judge is to be proved outside parliament before a non-parliamentary committee. The Judges Inquiry Bill 2006 defines proved misbehavior: willful or persistent conduct bringing dishonor, disrespect to the judiciary, willful, persistent failure to perform the duties of a judge, willful abuse of judicial office, corruption, lack of integrity, committing an offense involving the moral turpitude. So, in this way, we can define that this is something we can say proved misbehavior, because a bill was supposed to be passed in the parliament, but it couldn't. But it gives a theoretically a image what is proved misbehavior. Then there was another bill also, Judicial Standards and Accountability Bill 2010, proposed to widen the definition of misconduct. Under this, lack of integrity included the giving judicial decisions for collateral or extraneous reasons, giving judgments or any other act that have the effect of subverting the administration of justice. Basically, you are harming the reputation of the judicial system. Failure to furnish a declaration of assets and liability. It's mean a judge have to declare their assets, because justice is not done till the time it is not shown to be done. The failure to furnish a declaration of asset, liability, or willful giving of false information is also a misbehavior. Supreme Court itself laid down behavior in a wider term. If due to judge conduct, judicial credibility suffered, then it is a misbehavior. Okay. And why we are discussing this question was asked in around 2017 or 18, and at that time the Chief Justice of India, Mishra, against him some charges were slapped, and the Venkaiah Naidu at that time, that the chairman of the Rajya Sabha as a presiding officer, he blocked the inquiry. That was the news at that time. Okay. So and even the Venkaiah Naidu didn't, he blocked that initial inquiry, and it is given that the vice president or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha is not duty bound to give the reason. Okay, it is not mentioned that he have to give the reason that this is the reason why the initial inquiry or the impeachment process blocked by him. However, in this case, Venkaiah Naidu had given a detailed reason that he said that a misbehavior is not proved, and there is a very little merit in any charge. Even it means they are basically false charges, and they are basically based on the suspicion or the assumption. He says signatories themselves, the people, the member of parliament who have signed their motion, even they are not sure about the reliability of the charges. He considered implication for judicial independence if an investigation is ordered on unreliable charges. He said if there are charges and they are not on a ground, there is no particular reason on which these charges are based, then giving the permission for further inquiry, it will just lead to the disrespectful to the judiciary. It will just lead the judicial independence will get harmed. So our answer is, the speaker can refuse to accept the motion. Yes, he can refuse. In our first statement of the question, it is given that he can't refuse. but the fact is that speaker can refuse to accept the motion. And yes, incapacity and proved misbehavior is not defined in the constitution. So answer of that question is C. Let's move to the question again. I'm sorry, this is my pet and maybe he's angry because of any reason. So our the statement first is wrong. Why? Because motion to impeach a judge of Supreme Court can be rejected by the Lok Sabha Speaker. Second statement is also wrong because nowhere it is defined what is misbehavior or incapacity. Statement 3 is okay, that the process of impeachment given in the Judges Inquiry Act, and the statement 4 is also okay, that yes, the 2/3 member of the parliament who are present and voting, they should be there in the impeachment process. So our answer is 3, that statement 3 and 4 are correct. So we are done with our question. I think हमने काफ़ी डिटेल से डिस्कस किया and the purpose is solved. Our objective is not just to reach the solution, because next time UPSC can ask in a different way. So we should be well aware about the facts, theory and all the minute details of the polity. Thank you guys. Have a nice time.